check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Nicole Juergens, how the heck are you?
Michael Moore, I'm amazing. Thank you very much. Welcome to Highly Uncircumcised.
I was going to say that. You were just supposed to say how you were.
You're going to have to give me the script ahead of time.
You just got to follow me, baby. You know I'm the talent. Listen, I'm coming to you all the way live from beautiful San Francisco, California, because we're going to deal with some California type stuff today.
We are going to deal with something incredibly important today.
And I need our viewers to note that you are wearing a California Love hat. So we're just all California'd out right now, even though this issue is probably international.
It may not be. California is literally a country of its own. Not California. LA is literally a country of its own.
Oh,
in so many ways.
I'm pretty sure San Francisco is more of a
good point. Good point.
Than LA.
So let's put them together, and we are quite the unique country.
Did you know if we were a country, we'd have the 6th largest economy in the world in California?
Do you know if we were a country, we'd also have been bombed into the fucking middle of the ocean by now? Like, no way. No, the world's not going to have us. No. California is lucky it has all the other area outside of LA and San Francisco. Way too woke. It wouldn't happen.
You just went so dark right there. Just so dark.
No, it's reality. It's real. I mean, I'm
fun fact.
I have to keep it real, and that's reality. I mean, there's no.
If California was a nation, according to Nicole Juergens.
No, not California. LA and San Francisco.
LA. If LA and San Francisco were nations.
We're one nation.
We're one
under
nation.
God, indivisible. They would have been divisible.
Bombed to oblivion.
Right into the middle of the ocean. Just that's
by the rest of North America.
The rest of the world. We can't. No. The world can't handle it.
Wow.
And with that being said, let's get into our very important topic about these cities.
Now I don't know if we should make this topic specific to any cities, but listen. You and I were talking this morning, as we tend to do from time to time, outside of the stream. And you hit me with the whole, hey, do you got anything to talk about? And I was kind of like, well, I heard something kind of funny, but I don't know if we can really make a show out of it. And I proceeded to tell you about the story that I heard about this parade that took place, or do we really call it a parade, or is it like a march? It's a march. This march that took place, and is it in San Francisco? Was that where it was?
I don't know. I'll open the article once you.
Okay, because that's why I broadcast live from San Francisco, because I thought it was San Francisco. But anyway, this march that took place, advocating for people to stop shaming men with tiny penises.
Stop shaming the small dongs.
That's actually what they call it. Stop shaming small dongs.
This is very, very important stuff.
I have so many thoughts. I have more thoughts than I think I can even piece together now.
I want you to hold those thoughts so we can share. So lest our viewers not believe us, because it is unbelievable. Here is the article.
It's written small dongs.
Activists hold small dong march to normalize tiny penises. The demonstration took place in the US and was organized by 2 YouTubers. By the way, this article was written from someone in the UK, because I don't know if you've ever been to other countries, but they love to have news bashing other countries, just as we do. We want to talk shit about every other country. We don't know anything about them. So there's no article that I've seen written from the US about this march, but someone in the UK put it on the internet, and I'm glad they did.
Someone was communicating this because I heard about this on a very, very, very popular radio program that I listened to. So other people besides you and I got this information.
The demonstration took place in the US and was organized by two YouTubers. A small dong march has taken place in California in celebration of men who are less well endowed. Dozens of people hit the streets in Los Angeles, like I said.
Also, it's in
Just
Los Angeles.
blow it into the ocean. Just blow it up for the small.
Shoot, I should have broadcast from here.
For the small dong march, as they aimed to end the stigma and so-called shame around having a small penis. The march was organized by YouTube stars Chad and JT, and they encouraged people to turn up and own the truth. This sounds to me like perhaps they were trolling. Is that a possibility? These two, Chad and
from
JT?
What I heard and what you're reading right now, I think these dudes legitimately have a gripe with people shaming their smaller.
They legitimately
units.
have small dongs, and they're tired of the
I
shame.
think so.
Okay.
I think so. Now I have thoughts and.
Wait. Before your thoughts, let's finish.
Okay,
Let's we got to ensure the truth here. And I want to continue reading to find out everything. Attending activists, which included some women who wanted to celebrate the smaller penis, gathered in downtown Los Angeles at around 10 a.m. on Saturday morning, October 23rd. So not even a month ago. They paraded through the streets, chanting in unison and waving amusing signs with slogans like, "In solidarity with shrimp dicks," "Keep small and carry dong," and the simplistic, "Small dongs are dank."
Do you happen to know what either one of those things mean? I'm not.
You're too old. No, you're too old. You can't. Don't try to understand. Okay. Video footage of the march shared on TikTok shows demonstrators chanting "Motion of the Ocean" as they made their way through LA's downtown area. We gotta watch this. Hold on. We gotta watch it. Motion of the ocean, 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 motion of the ocean. So puny is powerful. Jesus had a small dong. I saw those there. Okay.
Wow.
Here's another tweet. This is a tweet that I retweeted. So when you had told me about this today, I'd heard about it because I had retweeted it because this is LA. The Small Dong March is a urologist approved event. And next year I plan to be an official sponsor. How about this one? My dong is not a choking hazard.
Wow.
All dongs are equal. The New York Post reports that some demonstrators said they were attending the march as allies and were in fact well endowed. Sure.
Like, is any of that relevant? But anyway, so I definitely have thoughts. But I have one question, I guess, before I'd even get into any of my thoughts, which would be, so we have to attack this thing as though this is serious, right? Like this is like a real issue for some people, right?
Well, this is my question. Why I could see how if it's two YouTubers and I don't know them and I have not listened to them, I can see how this could be like a troll, a fun troll for them, which is possible. Also, it's LA, and this is very likely to be real.
Okay. So just for the sake of highly uncircumcised and this highly entertaining show that we've been putting on now for 6 or 7 months.
Are small dongs circumcised? What if a small dong is not circumcised? It would maybe be bigger.
If it's not circumcised, it would be bigger.
If somehow you knew your child was gonna have a small dong, then don't circumcise it.
Wow.
Thereby,
we are way down the rabbit's hole for the first 4 minutes of this program.
I mean, solutions. I'm already talking solutions, Michael. You
are,
know, right?
We have
no
to,
shame. No shame.
We have to delve into the problem before we can give the solution. We are good with the solutions, okay? But we have to delve into the problem, okay? Now, listen, my highly nerdy and analytical mathematical mind, the first thing I thought was this, okay? This is real talk. I'm being serious right now, okay? I wonder, does everybody in that march realize that in order to come up with an average anything, right? To come up with the average, you need to take half being above that average and half being below that average to come to that average, right? That's just a very simple way of doing the math for everybody on the program right now, right? That means if these guys have like, I don't even know what tiny
is
penis
that the Common Core math though? Because I don't know. We teach Common Core in LA, so I'm not sure people will understand.
This is the math that I grew up with. So I don't, if that's not Common Core, then I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But listen, I don't even know, according to the article or anything that I've seen or read about this particular issue, what they are considering a tiny penis. Now, of course, there would be a universally accepted tiny penis, like if it was like 1 inch long, right? I mean, there'd be no argument that that's tiny.
The micro penis.
Right. But if
it's a
like,
thing. It's a thing.
But if it's like,
I'm gonna get a picture of it.
No, please don't. Please don't.
Carry on. I'll be over here.
If it's like 4 inches long, then that just means you're on the bottom half of average. If it was like 6 inches long, then you're on the top half of average, because the average male penis is a whopping 5 inches long. And another one of my thoughts, because I have so many thoughts, is just how porn has just crushed the male perspective of oneself and one's ego pertaining to their body. You turn on porn and everybody looks like they should be in a circus or something like that. And it's ridiculous what you see. And people, I guess women as well now, think that 9, 10, 11-inch penises are somehow just like walking down the street, just all over the place. And that's just not the case. But for you small penis individuals, I want to offer some data. You guys know I'm super data driven, okay?
Do you want to see a picture of a micro penis?
I really don't. I honestly don't. In no joking form or fashion do I want to see a micro penis. I have an idea what they look like because I saw The Hangover.
But
and the little guy that jumped out of the trunk.
If you had this, perhaps you would go to a rally to not shame.
Okay, but are we gonna get our show banned if we show a micro penis?
Why? It's nature.
Because are you allowed to show
nature?
Nudity?
This is nature.
I don't care, honestly. If you want to show it, I don't give a damn. But if we're gonna waste an hour and a half to get ourselves banned, then I would say don't show it. But if you know we're gonna be okay,
then I won't. But I will suggest going to Google or DuckDuckGo, which is better nowadays.
Here, let me do this.
Go to Google
while you're
Google
so we can have perspective.
Adult micro penis. Adult micro penis. Because if you put micro penis, it all comes up with kids. It's like I don't want to see kids, which something we'll go into later. But no. Adult micro penis. Then click on images, and now in your mind, if someone perhaps has this, perhaps I would go to
I literally
a march.
Give me any images.
Click on images after when you click on.
Well, I did. I did it through Yahoo. Let me try Google.
Here, I'll just send you this page. And
for those, please don't.
Those that are watching.
Adult micro penis.
There you go. Click on that. So now you get kind of, is this what they're talking about? If they're talking about the micro penis, So
you know what? This is honest to God changed my whole perspective on this particular show. I don't know if I can do it.
If they're talking about this, then okay. There might be
Nichoel, I don't even
shame involved.
Wow. Okay, listen, I'm gonna stay focused here. I'm going deep. I'm about to give this thing the college try because I want to just laugh through this whole program right now, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm going deep. This is me going deep. Listen, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that deep. I'm going deep.
But a micro penis cannot go deep. Just want to put that out there.
You know what?
Shame.
We're gonna have to step up our maturity.
Okay, all right, carry on.
We're gonna have to step it up. Listen,
carry on.
I'm pretty sure that the guys marching and women marching and all that kind of stuff are not marching with those that I just saw. I'm pretty sure they're probably just saying we're not porn actors kind of thing. We're not 7, 9, 10, 26 inches. We're not 3 feet long. Listen, gentlemen. The average female vagina, okay, is some 3.5 to 5 inches deep. Okay, that's the average female vagina.
The fact that you know this boggles my mind.
Baby, I do research. Don't hate me because I need all the information. Okay.
Don't hate. Elevate.
The average male penis is somewhere between 5 to 5.5 inches long, erect. Okay, and that's really all that matters is what it looks like erect. Okay, for the sake of this show. Okay, that means that the average man has somewhere around 1.5 to 2 inches of really just underutilized penis anyway, because if you're a heterosexual male and you're putting your penis into a vagina, okay, statistically, you have more than enough for most women. Why are we really making an issue of small penises?
Shame is a powerful
Am I just getting
motivator.
Am I getting old? Because when I heard this, I was just like,
well, also, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to guess you do not have a small penis. So I don't know what makes me guess that, but I'm just going to go out on a limb. And
wasn't my size 14.
fact that you're 6'5", 200 some pounds. There probably is a different level of recognition among guys who are 6'5", 200 some pounds, and the size of their penis, and guys who are 5'10", and
5'10" is actually above average height. Average man's like 5'8". Did you know that? Yeah,
no
5'8".
way.
Yeah,
I bet the
average woman's like 5'3".
I bet the over on 5'8".
How much we betting?
In the US? In the US.
I want to say that's actually a international stat, but it could be US.
I could get on board if it was international. I have to say over in the US.
Well, so what do you think the average man's height is?
I would say close to 5'10".
No,
not 5'10".
No,
yeah.
no chance.
Yeah. Somebody look it up. I'm Googling it.
Look it up right now while I give pearls.
Okay, you give
pearls. Listen, I can say in all seriousness that I probably do not identify with these people. And I'm not saying that because I want to add shame to their life or troll them or anything like that.
Hold that thought. I have the answer. We're both wrong. It's 5'9". We were right in between. But this was also in 2017.
Well, I actually knew that
in the US.
I knew that 5'10" would be above it. That's all I was saying. 5'10" was definitely above average.
I mean, you said 5'8", but who's counting?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that I think the US has a taller population than the average in the world, actually. So that means like the average man in the world is probably 5'6", 5'7", or something like that. But
all right, carry on.
I really feel like there needs to be more conversation, especially with young people, because I've been doing a lot of reading about this kind of stuff. And
about small penises?
No. About men and sex and ego and all that kind of stuff. Because the reason why I have been sort of reading about this and learning about this.
Well, you have a son.
No, not at all. I actually heard that what was it? How many years ago? I want to say it was like 20 years ago. 6 to 7 out of 10 men ages like 16 to 25 considered themselves sexually active with another human being. Okay. So 6 to 7 men were having sex with someone. Okay. This stat has now gone down to 1 out of 10 in that age range, which is the age range when you would think that like you just have this insatiable appetite to always be having sex. And the correlation was made, this is what makes this so interesting, because the correlation was made between how much porn is being consumed and the fact that, men tend to take care of themselves while they're watching porn, and the lack of actual connection with other people. And this is actually a problem, because men who are like 16 to 25 years old are literally now suffering like erectile dysfunction and impotism and just an inability to feel like they can even create positive connections with people of the opposite sex or same sex, if that's your thing. So how I relate this to the whole small penis thing is, I think it's just really an issue that's really falls under the larger umbrella of like, we are a sexually dysfunctional society now. We're an insecure society because literally we all know that we're offended by everything. And I'm going way beyond the whole small dong issue. I mean, we talked about Dave Chappelle show. Unfortunately, our viewers didn't get to see that show because we had technical difficulties, but we talked about people being offended by everything. Like, honest to goodness, and we're going to talk about some stuff that you're going to bring up that's just going to, I think, blow everybody's mind, because my mind's still blown thinking about it, and we'll get to it, but we are literally like a dysfunctional society. There's nothing functioning properly in this society except dysfunction. Dysfunction is working perfectly, but nothing makes sense. Like, if I had a small penis, and I'm being very serious right now, okay? If I had what I consider to be a small penis, I would not go out in the street and tell everybody I have a small penis. Don't laugh at me. Where are these people growing up? Like, who are their parents? Like, did your parents ever tell you, like, rub some dirt on it and get back out there?
No,
like,
they didn't.
I just,
it's not, and especially not in LA. And that's, you know, a lot of issues I have with LA, but I mean, the problems are vast, but I think you hit on it. You know, intimacy is a major issue, and intimacy doesn't just mean sex. You know, intimacy is like the ability to be close to somebody, to really feel connected to somebody and have that feeling, which, you know, hopefully leads to love, and then to be able to make love to them. Like, I mean, to take this deeper than we need to for this whole discussion, but I mean, this goes back to some of the stuff we talked about, I think, with education, and how we are clearly lacking as a society, is that we're still trying to teach information-based education, whereas information is at our fingertips everywhere we look. You know, I can Google anything and find out answers. Instead of teaching answers, now as society has shifted, I would really love to see an educational system that focused more on the mental and emotional aspects, where we're now clearly lacking, right? We can access information, we can learn anything, but how do we learn, and how do we use those emotions and those feelings and to access life? The problem is, I don't know if most adults know. You know, it takes a whole shift in our culture.
So Nicole, let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of incels? This incel movement?
Incel.
Yeah, incel. Incel is short for, and I've heard about this, by the way, for the last couple, 2-3 years, okay? It's short for involuntarily celibate, okay? And the reason why this came up was actually because one of these mass school shooters was actually part of this movement. It's an actual movement. You can Google it, okay? Guys 16, 17, 18, 19 years old are literally growing frustrated because they're not able to make connections with female counterparts. But in my day, that was called rejection. And if you didn't keep trying, yeah, you were going to definitely be celibate, or at the very least, not have someone to go to the movies with on Saturday night, you know, at 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. Like, but now, guys get so frustrated, they honest to God write manifestos and shoot up schools. This is no exaggeration. One of these, I can't remember which one, but one of these mass school shooters was one of these incel people, and he wrote in his manifesto how angry he was that he could not get laid. I'm done with Earth, Nicole. I really need a shift.
Well, we are emotionally lacking, but also, before you're done with Earth, again, everything that's on the news is all negative. There's no positive. So you think that everybody is this way, but we are not. We are a good people. To have gotten this far, we are very, very good. Of course, we are going to focus on the craziness of us, and we are crazy. Michael and I shift into, and as I say, we're not crazy. We can shift our dong conversation into something even deeper and crazier.
Wait, we're done with this? We're shifting?
I mean, we're still going to talk about it. It's all going to be interrelated, because I have a theory.
Oh, Lord. Before your theory, I would like to tell all the viewers that I am a man of love.
You be quiet. You be quiet. Since we're on the discussion of dongs, I mean, let's just keep it going, because I saw this on Twitter, And
Okay.
speaking of a crazy world and how we are trying to normalize, don't shame, normalize, don't bully me, which of course is a good thing. But instead of, all we're doing is trying to normalize the movement of, oh, don't stigmatize me, instead of actually growing a fucking pair of balls, pun intended, and grow up and accept, that sometimes you're gonna get shamed in life, and sometimes people are gonna deny you, and you have to learn from that and grow, instead of like all these fucking movements and don't offend me and don't, you're gonna get offended. So anyways, why I say that is
Why
because
do you say
now
that?
now we have this movement. This movement is called
What's
MAP.
it called? MAP.
And MAP stands for Minor Attracted Persons. What this movement is apparently the push to normalize the attraction to minors. And why they want to call it this MAP is because they don't want the stigma of pedophilia, because these people, according to this movement, don't act on these feelings. They are just attracted to minor persons. So they don't want to be villainized. They want people to accept that you can be attracted to children.
But how does that help them if I accept that you can be attracted to a child? How
Because
does that
this is
help
what
this
I'm
person
saying.
at all?
These are the movements that are like, no, fuck you, bitch. You don't be attracted to children that cannot consent to your attraction. Disgusting, gross. But this is what I'm saying. We have normalized the idea that people can go out and start a movement against offenses rather than just being offended. Nobody can be offended for 1 second. Like this. So here's a professor. I want to show this for people who can. This guy wrote a book, and to be fair, I don't know his entire view on this, other than what he's going to say in this clip, but this clip will kind of get you to understand MAP.
So much for that question. I use the term minor attracted person, or MAP, in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology for groups that members of that group want others to use for them. And MAP advocacy groups like Before You Act have advocated for use of the term MAP. They've advocated for it primarily because it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile. A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender. And that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions toward minors.
But isn't that exactly what being a pedophile means? That you are
attracted?
A sex offender?
Yes. So that's why they're
what
trying
is he talking about?
Here's another blog that I read. That's why they're trying to rebrand. Like, I like the title of this: rebranding pedophiles as MAP. It's the same fucking shit. But what they're saying is that, it's a rebranding so that you don't villainize them, because even though we openly admit to having sexual feelings towards minors, we want to normalize this because we're not acting on it. As long as we're not acting on it, then it is okay. And no, I opine it is not okay. You are a pedophile, and you don't get to have a movement that says, oh, don't bully me. And this is where we've gone, and why we need to blow this fucking city in San Francisco into the water, because we've gone way too far in our attempts to be universally acceptable of everybody. So now we're accepting of the 0.0001% of people, and we're diminishing all the rest of us, and it's just gross. I can't.
Check this out while you were speaking and playing that video, because I just needed to know for myself. I looked up the definition of pedophile, right? So he wants to get away from that stigma of being known as a pedophile, right? But he does like the whole MAP thing, and he likes to espouse that it's okay to be attracted to a child or a minor. So here's the definition of a pedophile, right? A psychiatric disorder in which an adult has sexual fantasies about or engages in sexual acts with a prepubescent child. Okay, so that's even more specific. That's not even just talking about less than 18, right? Because let's face it, there are definitely 17-year-olds that look like full-grown people in both sexes.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't think we even 16, 17, 18, if you're having a consensual relationship with somebody at that age, to be fair, I don't know like how crazy. I think it's when we're talking about prepubescent.
Well, I think it would have to depend on how old you are as well, though. I think if you're my age and you're having a relationship with a 16-year-old, that's a problem. I think if you're having a relationship with an 18-year-old, that's a problem, but not a legal problem. I think like you know, there's something that's not being met in your life where you need to, because what can an 18-year-old really fulfill for me besides some sexual fantasy? Anyway, my point in reading the definition is, I don't think that person understands that you don't even have to act on your fantasies. You just have to have the fantasies about a prepubescent child in order to fit the classification as a pedophile.
Well, I think he understands. And that's why he explained. He's like, because pedophile has this stigma that you have acted on it when it's not true. And so that's why he's trying to create, or I don't know if he is trying to, or if the movement has been created and he's talking about it, that this is, this is separate than a pedophile, even though it's the same exact thing, like that article said, it's trying to rebrand it into something that's okay. No, it's not okay. But I had a theory. Do you want to hear my theory?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Before your theory.
No fine print. You don't need to give the fine print disclaimer. Don't worry. So
no. I'm not at all. I want to because we're talking about rebranding. So put a pin in it. We'll get right to your theory. Rebranding pedophilia, okay, to me is the exact same as rebranding Kentucky Fried Chicken. We all knew that Kentucky Fried Chicken was horrible for us. We all know that if you ate it every day, you were going to become fat and diabetic and everything else that comes along with being a schlub. And then they decided we're going to call it KFC. So now we just magically don't know that it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's the same damn thing. Pedophile, map, pedophile. It's the same spices. It's the same thing. Okay, go.
Same amount of spiciness. I like it. So I had this thought because we had the march and then, all dongs are equal. But what if you're born with a micro penis, a small dong? What if that leads to the path towards becoming a map? Is it possible? Has there been a scientific study? Is what I want to know. Has there been a scientific study to find out if maps have small dongs?
I would personally just have to probably step out on a limb here and say that I'm pretty sure there's not a correlation between having a small penis and being a pedophile.
Do you know any pedophiles?
Well, what would be the opposite of that? So if you have a large penis, what would that make you? what would you?
I want to say something, but you'll call me a racist. I want to say that makes you black, but but it's funny because it's true. So.
Listen, and I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'm glad you said that actually, because this is a topic that I actually had this conversation at a poker table. We were talking about not the pedophilia thing, but penis size and all that, and we were talking about all this. Did you know that the average Black penis is somewhere between 0.5 inch longer than the average penis? Meaning, if the average penis is 5 inches long, the average Black penis is 5.5 inches long.
Yeah, but when it's erect, it's like 10 inches long. That's the difference.
No. You don't understand. I'm giving erect numbers. These numbers are erect. These are not flaccid. The average flaccid penis is like 2 inches long. That's literally like the average flaccid penis. The average erect penis is 5 inches. The average Black erect penis is 5.5. Now, why am I telling you this? And this is what I told all the guys at the poker table. Because someone decided to make a comment about what they thought I might have, and I was actually a bit offended since we're talking about offense. I actually don't like the stereotype about Blacks having larger penises. You would think like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like you have a larger penis. No, here's why I hate it. Because Black men and Black women, but we're just talking about Black men right now, have been over-sexualized and made to look like predators in America, in America's propaganda about blacks and stereotypes about blacks. So being known for having large penises only substantiates the larger narrative that we're rapists and we're oversexed and we're out of control and all of that kind of stuff. So I've actually
can I tell you the female perspective?
Okay.
Yeah, we don't think any of that. We just enjoy a large penis. So listen, we don't think you're predators or that you're rapists because your penis is bigger. We just don't.
Okay, you just gave one female's perspective, okay? I don't know if you know this, but you share
listen, I have
a spot with
a
millions.
few friends. Listen, I have a few friends.
Okay, I'd actually like to know what those few friends actually think is large, okay? Because we're using terms that literally don't encompass any real information, like tiny and small. Like, what's large? What's small?
It's really just about the motion of the ocean. Do we need to watch the video again? Like, let's start the march.
I don't know how we're having this conversation. You are in no way, shape, or form mature enough to be having this conversation with me. I don't know how we're even trying this. This is ridiculous. Listen, your friends, you large penises, I guarantee those large penises are probably like 6 inches long.
Listen, I honestly don't care. I really don't. Yeah. And that's why it's so funny that these guys do. It truly is, as stupid as it sounds, it's about how you use it. It's not, right? If you have a micro penis, it might be a little harder.
Well, that's a problem. That's a medical condition.
Yes.
That's they can't be talking about micro penises.
So,
but I'm marching for that. I can't. I'm sorry.
Other than that, there are, especially considering that, and this gets back to our talk about intimacy, considering that sex just is, penetration. There's so much more to being intimate with somebody, using an entire body, not just worrying about what a penis does. There's so much more to it that it just, the whole talk about, oh, it has to be big and that's going to satisfy a woman. Like, come on now. So the fact that they're so worried about it is that they I think you're right, they have these intimacy issues. They don't understand how to be close to somebody and how to make somebody happy, and that just involves a relationship, not actual sex or the size of your penis.
But the real problem is that the narrative is that larger penises make for better sex. And I don't care. I've been married for 20 years and I'm with one person that I'm happy with in every way, shape, or form. So honestly, it doesn't matter to me. But as a member of society, I just think it's sad that the narrative is actually changing the psychology of generations of men now. It's honest to goodness changing the psychology. Men are actually worried about jumping into bed with women for fear of being shamed based on whatever it is that they're bringing to the table. And that is causing, a dissection between people and coming together. It's a large problem that trickles down into many different facets of human pair bonding. And it's really, honest to goodness, it's a problem. Like, I honestly kind of feel like it's maybe extreme. I kind of feel like porn should be illegal. And I'm not really one that falls on the side of stuff
like I do, just like drugs. It's not something that just because you make it illegal, it's going to go away. That's the thing.
Probably true. But I guess what I'm saying is it's just so easy for young people to get. You don't even have to be an adult. Like when I was a kid, getting porn, seeing porn, I'm talking about even like Playboy magazines. That was like
Skinamax.
That was like, or you had to wait up to like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning and hope your parents were asleep and turn down the volume and, try and see what was on TV and all that kind of stuff. Like now, dude, you just click one thing on your phone and it's like full on hardcore everything. And I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old, but I just feel like that's just too much. Like, that's too much responsibility to put on these young people because they're not going to be able to resist that.
it is a lot, but I think it's not just on the young people, it's us. I think it's a lot of responsibility as parents. And I think that's where a lot of this issue is as well, is that all of this stuff has to be discussed with our children and talk about it openly and honestly, and discuss, how we feel and what we think about, because when we don't give them the forum to talk, this is how, we end up here and being offended and I can't meet a girl. No, I can't, like you think about how these people, like whoever you said this shooter was, right? Not to blame parents, but you wonder how you get to the point where you are a member of this incel club and then end up shooting people. Like what kind of conversations do they have at home? What kind of discussions are you getting deep into the emotions of your children? It's harder. It is way harder today. For 100%, it's going to get harder the more people we have in life. But I think we are really good as a culture at deflecting any responsibility whatsoever, right? Nobody wants to take responsibility. We want to blame everybody else for being a bully, and I don't want to be offended and everyone else's problem. But I think that's probably our number one problem right now, is like we have to take personal responsibility for our life. And that includes, even with porn, it's going to be out there. You can put, parent controls on your kids' stuff, right? But you also at some point, yeah, it's at some point you have to have a discussion with your kids about it. Like, hey, look, I know you're going to see this, but you have great thoughts about it. Like, what I feel like it does to a relationship, how I feel like, I think it's important to share that with children, with, your son, with your daughter. Like, hey, I know you're going to see this, but I want to tell you, what happens when you only watch this, and what happens when you see these bodies all the time, and how that's going to make you feel when, and I think parents, we don't want to do that, but I think we need to. I think, again, it's just like everything else in society. It's we want to relegate everything else to somebody else's problem, but we really just have to step up. I think, I don't think making it illegal will.
And I know saying that is like super extreme and would almost
it's
probably
not
never
extreme.
happen.
I'm sure a lot of people want it. It's not extreme.
Well, when I say extreme, I think it's super unrealistic and impractical and would never happen. I realize that after saying it, I realized that. But the thing with like porn that I don't think a lot of people understand unless you do some studies on it. Like I said, I've done a lot of reading about it because I was really curious about this topic for a while. It literally rewires neural pathways. So you could be staring at a certain type of porn for however long it takes. I have no idea how long it takes. And one of a couple things could happen. You could either get super bored with that, and then literally you have no desire for anyone that looks like that person, or you become the exact opposite, where you think that anything that doesn't look like that person is unacceptable to you. So then you go out to the club on Friday night with your friends, and nobody in the club looks like, porn star B, right? And you're just have no like mental, like, because how's the first way that we all sort of develop relationships, at least romantic relationships, is there needs to be some sort of attraction there, right? And then you have conversation, and then it goes from there. Wonderful. If you don't even ever get that initial like attraction, where are you going to go? All you're going to do is be stuck on your computer and your cell phone and jacking off, and that's your life. And that's what it's really become for a lot of younger people, 30 and younger. Maybe even it's affecting people our age now. I have no idea. But dude, it's a problem. It's a problem. And I guess the reason why we're even off into that is because I honestly think, like, with the whole small dong thing and all that, can you really see people marching for small dongs 20 years ago? I mean, really, like,
people in most of the rest of this country would never be marching. This is LA. Bomb it.
Yeah, but people wouldn't be marching in the rest of the country because they're just like so uptight.
Cut out LA and just pick it up and just fucking in the middle of the ocean. That's it. Just throw it in there.
You live in LA, right?
I know. I'm willing to go. If I have to say it about it, my kids gotta go somewhere else, but I'm willing to go down with the ship, because I can't say that if I'm not. But like it needs to like just, and then put it in the middle of the ocean, and then send a nuclear bomb on it. Just like make sure it never comes back ever.
Wow. Listen, how in the world can you say all that when you literally just told me, Michael, I think that you're probably focused on this one group of people, and most people are not like that, and most people are good, and da 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 da. You're saying in LA,
yeah,
that's not true.
No, it's not. But most people are good, but not in LA. Yes, this is yeah. I love California, but this is all the wokeness has to go. It's too far. We need to come back.
Listen, highly uncircumcised viewers, let me tell you something, because I doubt most of you have known Nichoel as long as I've known her. Trust me when I say, and I'm being honest with you, because you guys are important to me. This lady is not the lady that I met 7 years ago. She is so different. She has people. She's changed. Now, I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying this lady.
I'll tell you. Okay, I've grown.
Tell me.
I've evolved.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes. I will tell you.
Okay. All right. Listen, I'm not mad. I'm mad at your growth. I'm not mad at it, but when you say some stuff, I'm like, this is not Nichoel that I knew.
No, to be fair, you met me as a host of a poker game where, in the casino, I may or may not share my extreme thoughts on life, but this is highly uncircumcised, and I'm going to put it all on the table.
Your extreme thoughts.
Oh, I mean, about some things, but I'm going to put it all on the table on highly uncircumcised.
Okay, well, and we all appreciate it. We're all just blown away by your take on life. And LA, let me just say, you're not going to get nuked. No one's throwing you in the ocean. You're gonna be all right.
Come on. Even if
we just have to root out some crazy factions in our society, and we'll be okay.
Even if I had access to nukes, I would never obviously do it. But sometimes, in this
there's
day
some places
and age,
I'd nuke some places.
Oh, don't tell them. I know where you're thinking, but don't tell them. You're a racist.
You know what? We are not going to mention anything except to say I didn't realize that you and I had slight issues until you told me certain things.
So I think that's enough on the dongs. I mean, I think we're all donged out, but
let's continue to talk about penis.
Let's not say we did. But yeah, so we've got some penis issues, and I think what we as a society have determined is it's insecurity issues, and we gotta work on understanding who we are as people and accepting ourselves and taking responsibility for ourselves and our lives. And then once you get to that point, I really can't imagine how a small dong can really be that big of an issue. And also, don't fucking be attracted to minors. Get the fuck out of here with that.
You gotta get out of here with that. You gotta get out of here with that. That's ridiculous.
It's not okay. I don't care what you call it, map, whatever. It's not okay.
You're just out of your mind. You're honestly, you have a mental issue. You need to seek a therapist.
If you are watching this and you are map and you're offended,
unsubscribe.
I want to tell you something. Unsubscribe and then go fuck yourself.
Buy yourself.
Buy yourself with Twice. Your small dong. So
Twice.
Everybody else, we love you. So
love you. Please push the button, subscribe. Anybody
everyone else
who's not trying
subscribe.
To diddle little children or advocate for the diddling of little children, please subscribe. And again, if you are diddling little children and you are advocating for the diddling of little children, please, as Nichoel Juergens just described eloquently, go fuck yourself twice with your small dong.
And that's all we have to say about that.
Did we solve any of the world's problems today?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes,
I just need to make sure.
We did. So we will see you next week. Goodbye.
We are out of control. Bye.
Goodbye, Michael.